That's kind of weird that you started there, Joe. All right, Joe's looking at his primary. Okay. All right, we had both the C and the T raise their hands on the three-point shot. Elliot, I don't think that was yours. That was clearly in Jason's primary. We'll let him shoot all day. So line extended. Don't watch the ball. Don't watch the ball, Elliot. How did that dribbler get slowed down to the basket? Defensive player put two hands on him to slow him down. Two hands on a drive to the basket is a foul. All right, way to take your time. Way to take your time, Elliot. Jog to the reporting area. That's it. Stop. Okay, I think that's pretty good reporting. I like it. Free throw line extended, a little too low. All right, I think that's a good foul, but before you even start going to the table, Elliot, stop and just point to the spot where you want it in, and then go and report to the table. Don't start jogging and then turn back and point. Call the foul, point where the ball's coming in, and then go to the table. See, he had two players out in front of him, made a poor decision, should have passed the ball, but wanted to go in by himself. Okay, I can't argue with that. Yeah, I don't know if I would have called that, Jace. Doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I think the contact was minimal after the shot. The player was allowed to come to the floor. There was contact, so I don't know if I would have called it, but I have no problem with that. Elliot, right here, right here. Right here. Okay. That's the apex shirt. Because you need to see the individual violations, but you can see those guys over there. Who's bringing in subs? Who's asked to bring in that sub? Jason, you got to do a better job bringing in subs. And you don't have to go back. That offensive players down there, the defense was down there. You need a court on that free throw and make sure that you're in good rebounding position. That's a good signal by Joe. The only time we use that signal. a little out of control here. And I think these are JV players. All right, Elliot, your first job is to make sure you know who the shooter is. Okay? My question is, Elliot, if he wouldn't have gone to the line, would you have known who the shooter was? I would have been 100% sure. You need to be 100% sure. So your job is to make sure I got your shooter every time. Every time. Good, Ref. I trust you. Small thing, Elliot, but when you're the C in that situation, count with your outside hand. Get rid of stays here off of white. It's just blue. Get rid of all the excess language. You traveled. Yep. Good call, Joe. Absolutely. Telling Jason where he wants the ball. Elliot, you're the center. In that situation, Jason, bounce him the ball. They're going long, no pressure, just bounce him the ball. Much easier. I think 21 fouled them. Elliot, right here, 21 went right over his back. That's a foul. You got to get that. Push through him to get the ball. Okay, I think we might have been able to call a foul on that. Okay, did he have legal guarding position? If the coach would say, why was that a foul? What did he do wrong? What would you be able to say to him? It looked like he established legal guarding position. Looked ugly, but I thought he had legal guarding position. Let's see what the tape says. If he did establish legal guarding position, I think we should have went the other way. If you deemed that he didn't, Elliot, Jason, you need to blow the whistle on every sub. All that does is tell everybody something's going on, okay? Why? Look at where you are on that, Jason. You're almost to the top of the key in the backcourt while they're shooting free throws. What would happen if you had to make a call on this side of the court as the trail and you were in the backcourt? You cannot release until the other team has possession. All right, points are hard to come by in this game. Again, you had to turn around and look what's going there. An easy way to do that would be just left hand and direction of
because I want to.
Surprised you even called that one.
Hey.
They're learning, guys. They're learning. Okay? They're learning.
Pretty one-sided here.
Okay. How is it one-sided? How is it one-sided?
Because we're getting all calls on us,
Oh,
and then
okay,
they're tackling us.
Okay, so that's the way it goes. I said they're learning, guys. They're learning.
And if you're going to call a foul, call it on both teams.
I think they are. I think it's
Call it on
3-3.
one.
I think it's 3-3.
But it should be a lot more on blue.
Oh, on them.
Yeah.
It should always be more on them, right?
When
Should
it's
always
a
be more on
foul,
them.
yes.
Just enjoy the game. Let them work. They're learning to get better.
Trying.
Enjoy the game.
We're trying.
Don't feed into each
I'm
other.
not.
Trying.
You are. Just
Some people
walk away. Walk away.
Inappropriate.
You feeding into him is inappropriate
Relax.
too.
Relax.
I'm not. You guys
It's none of your business either.
That is my husband. It
Then
is
he
my
needs-
business.
then he
you
needs
need
to
to
shut
stop
up.
too.
Okay?
No. Just walk
I'm
away.
here to help them get
That's
better,
fine.
not to listen to
Just like let it. We're
remarks.
trying to watch a game.
Then
You're
watch
right
the
there.
game.
You're in my way.
Ask me to move.
You're arguing.
Then ask me to move.
Can you move?
I'm not in your way now.
Thank you. You're too much.
You guys are too much. You are the reasons why officials quit this game.
I just asked you to
He
stop
is.
arguing.
He is.
I-
You are the reason that we don't have officials.
Well,
You are the reason.
some calls. Ridiculous. When my kid's getting beat off the...
You are the reason why we can't get officials.
When we don't get calls, ridiculous.
Cry some more. Just enjoy the game. Fans, oh, that took one there. Points are hard to come by. You are a dick. You are a dick. Excuse me, I shouldn't say that. Step down on the shot, Jason. Step down on the shot. Step down on the shot.
Good, Boston. There he is. Good, Bud. Now we're playing. Good. Oh, where we at? Good. Go, run, Aiden. Good.
He undercut him. That's a good call. That's a call that's got to be made. Good table mechanics, Jason. The only thing I don't like is a little too close to the table. But those are good table reporting, Jason. Good job. Okay. Thanks.
Got a card. Good.
All right, I'd give him that shot all day.
Go. Good, Boston.
right, mark the spot. Tell them where you want it. That's it. And now go down. Go down. Now go down, Elliot. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. All right, counting players, making sure. Good hustle. Good mechanics at the table. Could be better, but not bad. Excuse me.
Now get out, Mason! Oh, gotta jump up. That was good deed. Stay straight up. Bar.
White team is not very good.
Go get back, White.
Okay. Now this is a game that's going to turn into game management. Okay. Okay, instead of a push, Jason, I think that's a hand check. Okay, that's a hand check. So you can't call one thing on the floor and then report it differently to the table. But when you're going to call a foul like that on the perimeter, it's mostly going to be a hand check. Take a step. Okay, that's good. You're good. You're good. Would I hold my hand up here? No, that's the trail's going to do that.
Box out! For the body.
All right, now the lead. Center. His wrist. Yeah, he's got stuff on his wrist. All right, under a minute. Which team is in the bonus? One of them is. The blue team is in the bonus. Instead of two hands up in the air, Jason, that's good reporting. I would just have one hand up and two shots instead of one for the foul and then the other one for the two shots. job. Count the players. Count the players. Elliot, or Jason, right here. Right here. Right here.
White.
45 seconds to go. All right, so great call over there, Elliot, but instead of pointing with your back to the players, open up and point so you're watching the players all the time and not turning your back to them. That's a hard thing to do. You get in the habit of doing what you just did. That's a hard habit to break. Okay. Hear Joe talking all the time. Jason, before we put that ball in, we're going to make eye contact with both of our partners.
Good take. Good, Trevin. Pressure the ball, no foul. In the gap. Trevin, in the gap. Good. Go.
No, we're shooting the bonus. Who's the shooter? 1-1, shooting the bonus. So it's your shot on the clock. Yes. Okay.
Hey, get the board. Come on, get the board.
All right, Elliot, instead of this, just blow your whistle. That's it.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but I went like this for the last shot.
I was just going to see who had the last shot. Okay. And I think under these circumstances, you would probably have the last shot because you're looking right at it. Yeah. We'll adjust to that. Okay. Every time we have a sub, Jason, we need to blow the whistle.
Okay.
Every time. What does the whistle do?
Lets everybody know. Everybody looks.
Right. Well, we can't do anything. Okay. You got your hand up in the air. You're blowing the whistle. You're saying, wait, something's going on. So every time we bring in subs, we're going to blow the whistle and raise our hand. Okay. Just to give your partners, hey, this is what's going on.
White ball coming out. White ball.
All right, Elliot, sometimes as the trail, I think you're too far out on the court. Okay? You know, if this is the sideline, you know, sometimes you're approaching the orange line. Okay? Got it? You know, a couple feet off. Okay? Just make it a small adjustment. Small adjustment. Okay? Sometimes you run across the lane as the lead. Okay? Very, 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 very seldom do we have to run.
Okay.
We move with a purpose, okay? We can walk briskly, okay? And remember that we're refereeing from behind.
Yeah.
So we just can't go straight across. We gotta, because this is still mine until when? Till I get to the opposite lane line and open up. Now it becomes the new, the trail who is now the C. But I have to make, if there's a call right there as a lead, I have to make that because I have the best look at it. You're too far away, the proximity isn't good for you to make that call. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
I know exactly. Okay. Especially that.
Joe, you have anything?
Especially that last one. Screwed him up. That's fine.
Oh, I want to know, I was going to ask you this. At the start of the game, where do we jump the ball from? Do we jump it from the table side? See it from over there. I looked at you, Joe.
That's one of three ideas.
No, there's a camera up there that's recording them, and I'm just talking into that, and they listen. They watch the tape, and then they listen to what I have to say.
That's good. Keep training because you need a lot more.
There's not enough.
Yep. I hear ya.
That young man over there in the beard,
This side.
instead of an open hand straight up, okay? Elliot, give him the, oh geez, okay. That's gotta be a foul. It's gotta be a foul. Yeah, Joe got it. Watching what's going on. Watching the players, making sure nobody does anything dumb. One shot. All right, Elliot, I want you to see. You got to make eye contact with both your partners. Okay? Just, it's muscle memory. You got to do it every time and get used to it. So what happens one time when I say 2 shots, and actually it's only 1 because they made the basket. You know, if you make contact with the C or the T, the T's going to blow his whistle. No. We're not shooting 2. It's only 1. He made the basket. So that's just a habit to get into every single time. The white team is not very athletic. They're not very good, okay? This is game management now. It's 35-9. Now we manage the game and make sure that nothing stupid happens. Okay. See, White's getting a little frustrated. That was a foolish foul. Joe, if you look at that, you know, the right team got the ball that way. You know, I don't dispute that there was a foul there, but the right team got the ball. Let's go the other way. I don't know. Can we do that in this game? Because White is getting a little chippy here. They're not very good. No. Really sloppy basketball. Oh. Jason had a good look at that. Kid came up on the elbow and hit him in the elbow. Yes, we got to get that. And Elliot, Jason, I keep want to call you Elliot. Jason, you had a good look at that too. That would have been okay for you to whistle on that too, because I think you had actually the best look at it. But that was absolutely a foul. That's good get, Joe. Illegal all the way. Good get. All right, Joe blows the whistle nice and loud. Says don't do anything until we have 10 players on the floor. Elliot, when you're on the side like that, there's no pressure bouncing the ball. Who initiated the contact in that? That's a good no call. Number 10 initiated the contact. Not going to bail him out with a foul. White ball. make sure you watch. Okay, make eye contact with both your partners before you put it in. Make sure they're ready. Jason, you need to be up a little farther. You're almost at half court. I don't feel safe here, to be honest with you. This is out of control. See, that's where one-handed mechanics, Elliot, okay? Up with your left hand and just point instead of up with your right hand and then point with your left hand. Just up with your left and then just point. Again, that up with your left hand and just point instead of using two arms. All right? You look like a traffic cop. Okay? Just one arm. So smooth, so easy. All right. The first thing you should be doing, Elliot, is I got your shooter. I got your shooter. Did you know that was the shooter?
Yes, I did.
What are you guys laughing at?
Me? He hit me. Nothing. He hit me.
You guys look guilty.
No.
No? No, maybe just a little
They
bit?
didn't want to save us a seat, so we had to sit over.
Yeah, just sit over here.
Yeah.
Are you guys brothers?
Yeah.
I could tell. You're the older brother. By how much?
16 months.
Oh, not that old. Okay. You ever beat each other up?
Yeah.
That's what brothers do. Give me some.
And then Hayden's number. He's on the bench. With blonde
That's your
hair.
big brother?
With the blonde hair. Yeah.
Okay.
On the bench.
Yeah. But he's playing, right?
Yeah.
He's playing.
He's doing good right now.
Free throw line extended. We're getting tired, I can tell. The players are, at least. All right, it's getting sloppy. They're getting tired. Okay. We got to watch that kind of stuff. We had a no call on that. We got to watch it. It's getting rough. They're getting rough. He's another guy. I'd let him shoot all day. Stop the game. Stop the game. Send the players to the benches. Send the players to the benches. All right. You know, just this last, whatever happened here, tumbling, rumbling, it's getting rough. Okay, just be careful. Just be careful. Okay. Bounce him the ball. You're going long, and there's... Get rid of off blue, white ball. It's just white ball. White. Get rid of that off stuff, okay? Because sometimes they're going to hear off blue and they're going to think they only heard blue, and then all of a sudden you're going to give it to white, and they're going to go, oh, you just said blue. So the less we say, the better. It's just white. Who's the shooter? Who's the shooter? You're sure? Would you have known that if he didn't go to the line? No, you wouldn't have. Every time when there's a shooting foul, the non-calling officials, I got your shooter. I know who the shooter is. Every time.
How long have you been on baseball?
Couple of years. That's it. Good job. Always color and number. Always color and number. So that was a great call you had over here, but you called it and then you went like this.
Okay.
Just go this. Use that one hand instead of using the looks a lot better.
Not much.
Come on, you know something. You know something. Tell me something you know.
Teach me how to rep.
You want to rep?
Yep.
We need reps.
If I'm 17, what age can I rep up?
You can rep up to, I believe, high school JV. Okay? Then once you become 18, you can rep whatever, you know. Where you? It is a great way to stay connected to the game. You know, making friends. There's a lot of advantages to this. But the disadvantages are dealing with some unruly parents.
Yeah, that's fair.
Things like that. So you got to learn how to deal with that. But you go to school at Plymouth. You ask coach, okay, about how I get involved in officiating. You can probably help. Okay. But what year in school are you?
Gonna be a senior.
You gonna be a senior next year?
Yeah.
You going on to college? Okay, but even that, you know, that's a great part-time job. You know, you get, you know, $300, $400 a weekend if you're working, you know, 4 games on a Saturday, 4 games on a Sunday. You know, that's a great part-time job.
Yeah, for sure. And it's fun.
Well, that you know, that's something that officials forget. You know, this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to have it, you know, enjoy it, do it. Yeah. Jason, subs came in. What happens? Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. All that does is tell your partners, don't do anything. I got something going on. Okay? But that's something that becomes muscle memory to you. It happens all the time. So after a while, you don't even think about it. You just do it. Okay. So this is game management. Let's go talk to those guys. I was just telling Jason, this is game management time. This is making sure nobody does anything stupid time. Okay. Just talk to them, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Don't let up. Okay. With this time out here, I think it's always a good idea in any kind of game. With 5 minutes ago, we bring the crew together. Hey, everything okay? Are we on the same page? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Who's in the bonus? Do we have any timeouts left? All of those things that we need to know in these last couple minutes to have it run smooth.
Yes.
Hey, coach. Thanks. And he didn't want to hear it either.
Well, I was waiting for him to say something that was like off color, and I'd be like, buddy, you got one more word, because I know he wouldn't shut up. Yeah, go ahead. I can make a phone call right now.
Well, that's what I said. We always need referees. We always need referees.
That was good. I figured you'd like that. A little spicy.
You're right.
Did you ask me if he wanted to sign up for next
Well,
year's game?
I said, hey, we're always looking for referees. It's summer basketball. They got to call it even. I look up, it's 3-3.
3-3. Yeah.
You're the reason why people don't want to officiate.
I said to Tim, I really had money down on this Campbellsport new Lutheran summer league game, and they're ruining my money because they're favoring me. They don't give two shits who wins this fucking game.
They don't, I said, 5 minutes after this game is over, nobody cares. There's who wins, who loses. Okay.
Help your teammate up.
Help the other opponent up. That's what I would like to see. But I hate to tell you, but there's no college scouts here. There's no trophies for first place here. This is the time of
For them here?
for everyone. Okay. When coaches find out who I can trust, who's going to be my sixth man. Who can play under adverse situations. This is what this is for. Right. And if winning happens, that's great. But,
Right.
I mean, if it doesn't, like I said, 5 minutes later, they don't care.
We got our ass kicked twice today. I'm gonna go home and sleep just fine.
Yes. You'll have a nice meal, sleep well. Okay.
Get up and try to be better tomorrow.
Perspective is a good thing.
Yeah.
Perspective. I told him, these guys are just trying to get better. They're trying to learn. Where else are they going to learn if not here? You want them to learn on January 7th when you have a first place game, and then it does count, or do you want to learn them here? All right, game management, 40-17, 3.5 minutes to go. Let's make sure nobody gets hurt. They're complaining you called the foul. I don't know what else you could do. You called the foul. What else can we do? Without looking, tell me, are both teams in the bonus?
Yes.
Very good.
8-7, I believe.
Well, it's 9-6, but very good. Very good. Not on your hips. Save your life.
Kiss the wall. Come on, boys, let's go.
Okay, we're at a minute. Do we know that? Where did it go out of bounds? On his line, right? Yep. You got nothing to do with it. Unless he can't see it or didn't see it. All right, we're winding down. 10 seconds. Oh, no. 15 seconds. Sorry. All right. The worst nightmare is somebody gets hurt in this kind of situation. All right. That call was a more or less, we're not letting it go kind of foul. Okay, we're calling the game to the end. All right. I just hold the ball and see what's going on. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Thank you. The end.